When medical doctors take their oath of professional ethics, they usually make a promise to nurture and save lives as much as possible and to the best of their ability, and never to deliberately take, terminate or destroy lives. Today, let's talk about the recent case of a medical doctor whose action from all indications contravened his professional ethics and training to look after, nurture and save lives. This is the case of Dr. Abass Adebowale. Hello everyone and welcome back to Lawyer's Case Files. My name is Joy Phillips. Before we kick off today's episode, here is our usual disclaimer. We do not by any means mean any disrespect to the victims talked about in these stories. These stories are simply for educational purposes and to create awareness. That being said, let's get right into today's story. 36-year-old Dr. Abass Adebowale hails from Offa local government in the southern part of Kwara State. Though originally from the Offa local government area, Dr. Adebowale eventually settled in Kayama local government area. He settled in a rural community in Kayama and took a job as the chief medical director at Kayama General Hospital. Described as quiet and soft-spoken, Dr. Abass was so loved by the residents of the rural community in Kayama where he lived and practiced medicine that he was allowed to marry a local princess with whom he fathered 2 daughters. Residents and natives of the rural community where Dr. Abass lived and worked at the hospital admitted that though not originally from that community, Dr. Abass engaged in so many philanthropic activities in the community, making both monetary and blood donations to needy patients. In return for his philanthropy and medical service to the community, Dr. Abass received so many awards from the community and was well loved by the people. Everyone in the community appreciated his decision to stay behind at the rural community and provide medical service to the people at the general hospital, even when most of his colleagues have left the community to somewhere else in search of greener pastures. To further demonstrate their love for the doctor, the community even allowed him to marry their princess and also gave him free land to build both his residence and his private hospital. Dr. Abass Adebowale was first arrested by the Edo State Police Command on Sunday, September 4th, 2022 for the alleged murder of an Edo State-based taxi driver, Mr. Emmanuel Yobo Abovere, in Benin, Edo State. According to the family of the deceased taxi driver, Dr. Abass Adebowale had met their brother for the first time sometime in July when he visited Benin, Edo State from Ilorin for some business transaction and engaged the services of their brother to take him around in his taxi to do his transactions while he was in Edo State. The family alleged that by the end of that trip in July, the taxi driver, Mr. Emmanuel Yobo, and the Dr. Abass Adebowale had become familiar with each other and perhaps formed some friendship that led them to exchange phone numbers, with the doctor promising him to get in contact with him anytime he's around in Benin. So it's said that eventually, in the evening of Saturday, September 3rd, 2022, the doctor again gave the cab driver a call, informed him that he was in Benin and that he should meet him up at Westview Hotel in GRA, Benin. Mr. Emmanuel's wife claimed that the husband left to meet the doctor at the hotel at about 10 p.m. that evening with one of his friends in his car. And then it said that when they arrived at the hotel, Dr. Abass asked the taxi driver, Mr. Emmanuel, to go and drop off his friend that came with him and come back to meet him at the hotel. It was from here that the story took a very sad turn for the taxi driver, unfortunately. In the words of Mr. Afure Abonwere, the brother of the deceased cab driver. His brother came back to the Westview hotels to meet the doctor up as they had agreed, and as usual took the doctor around in Benin to do his usual transactions. In the course of their trip, as the taxi driver was taking the doctor around town, the taxi driver, who is now somewhat familiar or friendly, as you may wish, with the doctor, told the doctor that he was having leg pains, and the doctor promised him to give him something that will help him alleviate his leg pains. The doctor unfortunately allegedly injected the taxi driver with a poisonous substance that ended his life immediately. To conceal his crime, the doctor put the cab driver's body in his car, the cab driver's car this time, and drove him towards Akure like you're going to Ondo State, and dumped him in a forest along Akure-Ondo way. Having completed this mission, the doctor then allegedly made away with the deceased cab driver's Toyota Camry Voltron car. Please don't forget to like this video, comment, share and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you very much. Now let's get on with this story. So when by evening time the next day, the wife of the taxi driver, Emmanuel Yobo, who had a 4-month-old baby at the time, had not seen the husband, she alerted the family and they contacted the Edo State Police Command, who then started the search to locate the missing cab driver. With the help of a tracking device on the car, the police were able to track Dr. Abass and the missing car to somewhere around Oshobo in Osun State. Also found on the doctor in the car while he was being arrested were both the poisonous substance and the syringes he used in injecting the deceased cab driver. When questioned by the police on the whereabouts of the missing cab driver, the doctor disclosed the location where he dumped the body of the deceased cab driver and claimed that his death was not intentional. He also begged the family of the deceased cab driver to forgive him. In a surprising twist of events, when the public got wind of the arrest of Dr. Abass Adebowale in Edo State and the murder he's being accused of, members of the public, especially back home in Kwara State, his home state where he lived and practiced medicine, started reaching out to the Kwara State Police Command, urging them to look into some petitions that have been filed against Dr. Adebowale in the past concerning other murder cases that had happened in the past in Kwara State, especially at the hospital where he worked. On further questioning on these new accusations by the police, Dr. Abass Adebowale eventually confessed to have murdered 2 other boys back home at the hospital facility where he worked in Kayama, Kwara State. Armed with this information and suspecting that the doctor may be linked with even more murders than he's letting on, the Kwara State Police Command got a warrant to conduct a search of the office of Dr. Abass at the Kayama General Hospital where he worked as the Chief Medical Director. According to eyewitnesses, during this search of the doctor's office, the police found a portion of the office freshly cemented and covered with tiles. When these floor tiles were broken, the remains of an unidentified woman was found buried in a shallow grave in his office. On further search of the doctor's office, police also discovered buried in what looked like a trash can another body of a lady later identified as Nafisat Halidu, who had been missing in Kayama community since November 2021. The husband of Nafisat Halidu, who was also present during the search of the doctor's office, told the police that Nafisat Halidu went missing since November 21st, 2021, when she left her house to go visit the doctor at his office, and that all his petition to the Kwara State Police before now, urging them to look into the doctor as a suspect in the disappearance of Nafisat, fell on deaf ears. In my opinion, this could have been so because the doctor was looked at as a benevolent, responsible, and well-loved member of the community, and not someone that could commit this sort of atrocity. Also found in the doctor's office are 2 handsets, 2 ladies' handbags, a veil, a lady's wig, and female underwears. Unfortunately, the police did not find the body of the other 2 boys the doctor had confessed to their death. One of them was said to be a boy taken to meet the doctor at the hospital by a bike rider, Okada as we call them locally. The boy had told the bike rider to wait for him while he goes to meet the doctor at his office. And when the bike rider waited for so long, but the boy never came out, he left and reported the matter. But the matter was never investigated and the boy was never seen again. That lack of investigation, as is claimed or as alleged, is also understandable on the face of it, and also because of the way our society is structured. Nobody will take a bike rider making this type of allegation against a medical doctor, especially a medical doctor of Dr. Abass caliber and reputation, seriously. Everyone will probably think that the bike rider is drunk and doesn't understand what he's talking about. It's also the case of some ad hoc staff that suddenly disappeared from the hospital facility and were never seen again till date. All these unexplained disappearances that happened around the doctor and the hospital facility that he worked at had made many members of the Kayama community to believe that there are still so many other murders committed by the doctor that have not been uncovered by the police or confessed by him. And if that is the case, then the police may just have uncovered a serial killer hiding in plain sight among the community. There are even speculations that the doctor was involved in organ harvesting and that he had sold some of the body parts of his victims to his collaborators or accomplices. It goes without saying, therefore, that the actions of the doctor has thrown the people of Kayama local government area and the entire Kwara state into a state of mourning, and they have called on the Nigerian police, especially the Kwara State Police Command, to investigate these missing persons cases seriously and fish out any accomplices of the doctor if in case he received any help in committing all these crimes, and bring them to books accordingly. Though Dr. Abass is still detained in Edo at the moment, it's expected that prosecutors in both Edo and Kwara State will take turns in taking Dr. Abass to court to answer all the allegations against him and serve justice to all the victims of his crime. So that brings us to the end of today's episode. I hope you learned something. Thank you very much for spending time with us today. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to our channel for more updates, especially updates on this case, as this is still a developing case and we are bound to have updates as investigation into the matter progresses. See you.